up on a brand new game. Old money moves, but it don't feel the same. Lines in the sand from the east to the west. Dollar signs clashing, who's gonna lead next? Before the world wakes up, we already see it shift. Coffee kicking in, yeah, we're reading every tick. New rails building underneath the ground. Something big's moving, you can feel it now. Yeah, you said wait your turn, we said not this time. We're redrawing lines in the digital sky. Yeah, it's an on-chain Friday morning. Coffee strong and the charts are forming. From the ground up, no warning. Yeah, we're watching this whole thing shift. Got that fire, got that slice. Future building overnight. One more move, one more climb. On-chain Friday morning time. Morning time. Morgan's pushing through the front door now. BlackRock stacking, yeah, they see it somehow. Billions flow where the code runs clean. From the streets to the screens in between. Mortgages shift to a brand new lane. Real world assets breaking their chains. BNB running like a freight train line. 3 billion strong and it's just in time. They try to hold it back, but it won't stay still. This revolution's got a different way. It's an on-chain Friday morning. Coffee strong and the charts are forming. From the ground up, no warning. Yeah, we're watching this whole thing shift. Got that fire, got that slice. Future building overnight. One more move, one more climb. On-chain Friday morning time. Every time. Yeah, some fall, some rise. That's the game we play. AI cutting jobs, but we find a way. Stablecoins moving coast to coast. Fast like a ghost, yeah, faster than most. You can doubt it now, or you can step inside. But the tracks are laid, it's a hell of a ride. Yeah, it's an on-chain Friday morning. Hear the engines hum as the world starts forming. From the past to a new horizon, yeah, we're building what's next in line. Got that fire, got that slice. Yeah, we live in this new life. Raise it up, don't think twice. On-chain Friday morning time. Yeah. Yeah, the old world's fading out of sight. Welcome to the on-chain Friday morning.
Yo, what is up? GM. Woo! There we go, man. That was some rock and roll, some Americana, if you will. Woo, man, I got my blood pumping. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great Friday morning. Get yourself going. Here we go. Get up out of bed. If you were sleeping and you thought it was going to be a little chill, Ibiza chill, courtesy of Brian's recommendation this morning. Nope, no sir, no ma'am. Putting steak on my pizza today is Michael Navarro. I love that, man. I'm telling you what, after that song, I'm putting steak on my pizza today too. Steak and blue cheese. I want a steak and blue cheese pizza. Maybe just part of it, because I don't think my family's going to want that. I know my daughter is definitely not going to want a steak and blue cheese pizza, but that sounds delicious. I'll probably just settle with pepperoni. Give me a country girl, says DJ and Brian. Absolutely. Some Daisy Dukes, a pickup truck, and some boots. Woo! Yeehaw! 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 I reckon. All right, that was a little absurd. Feeling good, though. It is Friday morning. You know what that means. It's pizza night. We got the sign to prove it right up here. Pizza. I hope, let's see, we're going to get through the news today. Let's see, what do we have? We got a lot of things going on today. As the theme we've been talking about for what seems like, since we started the show, the Morning Macro, the news is all very similar. The entire financial ecosystem, it's just being rebuilt. We know that. You got, see, the articles we're talking about today. U.S. and China splitting on digital money. Wall Street turning Bitcoin into a ticker. Mortgages moving on chain. You got billions flowing into tokenized assets. And now AI. AI is going to start running the show. AI is going to start running the show. That's the only FUD article we got today. The only FUD article that we have today is the Crypto.com one. I don't know if you guys have seen that. They laying off like 12% of their workforce. Did you say steak? What was that? Is that, I know that's is that the Ladies Man? I think that's from the Ladies Man, right? Did you say steak? I like steak too. I like turtles. All right, let's get into this, guys. Smash the freaking like button. Get going on that. We need to make sure that some more people come and hang out with us. We're going to have a good show. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. So get smashing on that. Let's see, the fear and greed index. Look at this thing. Whoa. Wait a second here. I'm gonna have to go into this, and let's go here. What is going on here? You tell me what is happening right here. There we go. All right, we can go out of studio mode. Boom. All right. Out of 10. Dramatic pause. 10. Guys, we went from single digits to the 20s back to a 10. I hope you guys took some profits on that pump. I put in a couple shorts yesterday, a couple scalps. We'll do the same thing maybe today. I don't know. It's Friday. Usually there's not a whole lot going on in the markets, but we'll check it out. We'll see if things are going to start moving around a little bit. I will tell you, let's see. We can go check out the Bitcoin chart for a second here. Somewhat flat. Let's see. This is the daily. Let's look at the 5-minute. Ooh. Recently got a little indicator from, look at that. Look at that. That just tells you. So Mike's indicator, modern Canadian, it's got a bullish bias to it. It tells you when to kind of go long. And look, it put a signal right here on this one right here. So if you caught that, I mean, it's only a little bit, but it told you bada boom, bada bing. You could have put a little couple shekels on that, and you'd be up in a little bit of long, little scalp long here. You never know where it's going to end up going today. Remember, at 9:30 is when we start setting our goalposts. We put a top and a bottom, a high and a low, and then from there we usually see. Now on a day like today, Friday, if I'm not mistaken, like last Friday, we like bounced inside the zone until about noon or something. Like it was wild. Like it was a stable coin. And you know, again, liquidity dries up. If some people made some money this week, you know, maybe they decided that they don't need to trade anymore. And so again, that's usually what'll happen by the end of the week. You know, the amount of people who trading are not the same. It winds down, and so liquidity goes down. But that also means that sometimes the moves are a little bit sharper because there's not as many people, you know, one way forcing it the other. So something to think about. Let's go. We are back here though. Fear and Greed Index. Let's get back on a coin market cap. I'm going to give it a quick refresh just to make sure we're looking at the current, the freshest. Still 31 on coin market cap, still high. Now, I've noticed that coin market cap doesn't, they don't usually reset until like it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like sometimes between like noon and 1 or something like that. Like that number will totally change. And so if what we see here on Coin Glass back to a 10 is a little bit more aligned with where the market is and looking, you know, we'll see one of them adjust. That's for sure. One of them will get closer to the other. Maybe we get closer to like a 15 or a 20 or something. Who knows? We'll see. But the market itself is kind of flat today, sitting at 2.4 trillion, up 0.27%. So up a quarter of a percent. Nothing major. Altcoin season was 50 yesterday, 47 today. Let's see. We got any. Captain, you and the captain make it happen. Bitcoin is down 20% over the last 90 days, right? And so we got anything down here that anything popping in here that we may want to scoop up. You could get some Arbitrum, you could get some Zcash, you can get some Say, you can get some Aptos if you want some Aave. If you're into DeFi like that. Aerodrome for sure. Injective, maybe. Ondo for sure, down 35%. It was down 30, I think. Last time we looked at this yesterday, I think it was like at 30%. So 35%, we could take that. Sweet! 34%. You could take that. Midnight, no thank you. We're Liberty Fine, no thank you. V-Chain, we did this yesterday. Breaks my heart. Breaking my heart, V-Chain. And why is V-Chain breaking my heart? Let's see. Let's pull it up. I'll show you why it's breaking my heart. On the level, on the 5 minutes, like, dude, breaking your heart. Look at that. That's some great action. Thing's moving around. That thing is ripping and roaring, as they say in the biz. But when you put it on a little bit more of a longer time frame, uh-oh, wait, what's happening? Oh no, wait a second. And we should probably, to be honest with you, we should do this. I broke our heart too much yesterday to do this. We want the whole thing. We want the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Because that's nasty, what we're looking at right here. Because you see a lot of other coins that they never pierced. Still we're on that uptrend. If you look at, this is the weekly, right? So, whatever. That was the multi-year uptrend. Like, that's what a lot of coins like H-bar. Remember when we did this yesterday? Still casting a wide open net. It still has not gone pierced down below like, these low. And this is, obviously we could probably zoom out on some of these. These are over on BitUnex. This, oh man, we lost the V-Chain one because we changed charts. We should probably end up opening these kind of charts for everything so that we can see the actual full picture, right? Because, obviously if you're looking at like, a trading pair on like a leveraged trading pair on an exchange, that chart starts when it was added or it goes back as far as you can. And so the V-Chain chart on like the BitUnex one doesn't go far as this. Same thing with what we just looked at with H-bar. It's probably some of the other ones where we want to go back to the basics to see like what the heck is happening here. And so like this is like, what breaks my heart is this. And so you could be like, dude, just go like this. And you're still on an uptrend. But like, nah, like you're supposed to touch multiple spots. You're supposed to have multiple touch points. And this was what seemed like pretty organic, the first line. And this, once we broke down here, we've broken down into this level where, this right here is no man's land. Like, do you recover from that? I don't know. Let's put this one in. And let's go to something like H-bar, because that was one that we were looking at. We'll throw that one in there too, because we want to start looking at these truthfully. See, like H-bar H bar did not pierce below like this, right? You could do it like that. You could cut through it a little bit. Maybe not that much. But this is the weekly. Remember that. We'll come up right to the bottom of there because it kind of bounced through most of that stuff. And so look, like H bar itself is on a multi-year uptrend. Everything is on a multi-year uptrend, and that's like what scares me about stuff like the V chain one, where I mean that thing pierced below. That's in a whole nother realm. I know we talked about this. You know, some people like lost all their confidence. They they cut ship, cut bait on it. I still have all my stuff, and I said it for now, but at some point, you got to walk the talk, talk the talk, walk the walk, all that stuff. And so, like I've been telling you, like cut bait on your stinkers, put it into Bitcoin, and move it over to cold storage. And so, if I'll put in a time limit on this. If things don't start moving, it's on the chopping block, and this is what it is. We can't fall in love with sinking ships. We can't fall in love and stick around with the project where your capital is just going to go to nothing. And like people would take the tax loss. It's okay. Fuck that. That's not what I want. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to lose money. And so, obviously you'd have to take a loss selling it here, but cutting ship now and putting into something that is moving up is potentially a better idea. It would have been better to take some profits when we were up in here, but que sera, baby. Que sera. Let's see. What is going on in the chat? I want to say what's up to the chat. DJ and Brian in the building this morning, getting the gold. Congratulations, sir. Back in action. Curtis Gore picking up the silver. Michael Navarro picking up that bronze. GM, 1% better every day. You know the drill. I appreciate you guys. Let's go. Who else we got here? David in the building, doing it live over on LinkedIn. Let's go. I appreciate you guys checking in on all the different platforms, letting me know what is up. Thank you so much. If you are watching live on LinkedIn, thank you. If you're watching live on YouTube, appreciate you. You know what to do. You know the drill. Smash that like button. And if you are watching on X, very easy. You can back out of the chat. Oh, maybe you're not in there yet. You should get into the chat and start yucking it up. But before you do, just hit the heart. Tap the heart on the like. Helps me out. Helps the video get maybe entered into the algorithm a little bit better. It's Friday. Sometimes the Friday video struggles a little bit. So everything you guys can do to help me out, I appreciate. All right. Well, what else we got, y'all? I missed a lot of that. Gold, y'all talking about gold. John James Power in the building. Watching over on the YouTubes. Yeah, David, you're watching on both, man. Double casting. That's crazy. Definitely appreciate that. Let me know if if there's any issues on any platform. I appreciate you. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is the V Chain market cap. Let's see what else. Well, let's go back to crypto market cap. And let's get back to the top here. Let's see what things are doing. Bitcoin back to 70 today, 70,500. I'm not really sure, everything that I was looking at yesterday, when I was looking at the charts and when, I was talking to some people in some of the groups and, was in the Discord a little bit. We're going to be in there a little bit more, probably start going live in there at least once a week next week. I think we had probably anticipated trying to go doing the Friday live show today in there, and we'll see. Maybe for like a little while. You know what? For a little while, we're gonna go live in the Discord today. If you need that link, you should know where to find it. How about that? We'll make things difficult for you this morning. You gotta do a little bit of work. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I will put it into today. I will put it into the YouTube, so it is in the YouTube chat. So if you want to join the Discord, link is in the YouTube chat today. While you're there, make sure that you're subscribed for sure. Hit the noti bell so that when I signal go live, I think you get that notification. No, you get it when I think you just get it when I actually go live, because you never know. Maybe we'll have some new people competing for the gold medal. And remember, at some point, that's going to be worth something. It's going to be worth something. Just saying. All right. So let's get back over here. You got the link over in the YouTubes. Coin market cap. We did the altcoin season. We did fear and greed. It's a little different over here. Let's just refresh to make sure not one of these have moved yet. We were at 10, still at 10. We're at 32, still at 32. All right. Bitcoin 70,500, Ethereum 2145, XRP 145, BNB 643. That thing is down when most things are up for the week. Some things are up. Some of the big ones are up. Some are down, actually. You got Solana at $89. Let's see if this thing can break 100 soon, right? I know that we're liking that. I would like it to break 100 so that I can reshort it back down to the $20 level that we're looking at. And why am I saying 20 bucks? Let's take a look. I'll show you. Show you why I'm saying 20 bucks. We got to go in. We got to zoom in. And we might have deleted it yesterday. Oh, no, it's right here. So here is what we're seeing, right? We had this big dramatic drop down right here, and then we've been kind of consolidating in this pattern right here, hanging it tight. Look at how tight it's been. Let's see, like 15% for like 40 days, something like that. Maybe that wasn't right. 20%. Okay, a little bit bigger. It's that rising. If we could capture that, that may be a little bit better. But watching that thing, if it fundamentally breaks down, we've got alarms set all the way down. Plunge protection. We've got plunge protection on our Solana. Again, we want this thing to go up and continue, right? We want it to get to $100, like we were saying, which would probably put it, if we were to continue this thing up, right? 100. There you go, 164, and then from there. Break down, and then structurally, if we can get that thing down to the 20, we'll short it all the way down, and then you know what we're doing when we get down there. Some of y'all are going to spot buy down here at the Soul Generational buy. I know you're going to spot buy. I'm not going to spot buy. I'm going to actually eliminate the Solana that is in my cold storage for more Bitcoin, but I will long the shit out of this motherfucker when it does hit our Soul Generational buy. I will be long at least 50x with a bunch of money if we hit that 23 to $20, the low $20 range. I will be long very big for that, and I hope that you guys are too. That's exactly what I'm looking for, J-Chain, says David. There we go. See what I'm saying? Like, we can short this shit out of it. Let's get it to 100 so we know that it builds, but structurally we're in a downtrend until we're not. And so it'll be very easy for us to figure out, and ultimately, this isn't science, so let's make it a little bit more scientific. Okay, like this, right? And so ultimately, if we end up breaking up out of here, which would be a good thing, right? Because that could be like a little bit of a retest, right? And then, we come up, we come down, and then we get rejected and sent back down. That's what I'm looking forward to happening. That's what I want, right? I would like for this thing to get a little false sense of security, build a little hopium, people going long, and then they wreck it. We short it all the way down, and then when we get into the lows, then we long it all the way up. That's the plan, guys. We're going to do that with Solana. There's a lot of activity on Solana. There'll be a lot of volatility on Solana. There will be a lot of liquidity on Solana, especially if that happens. So get ready. It'll probably be a fast move, and we are definitely going to capitalize on it. So that's our plan. We'll be watching this shit. We got alarm set, remember, all the way down. And I will tell you, I'll keep you posted in the Discord, so make sure you join. Black Swan gearing up, 100%. 100%. 100%. The news is so bullish, but the price is still going down. Remember, it's that bullish divergence. We need to make sure that we clear out. I honestly think that we need to clear out a lot of the bullshit that's in our crypto ecosystem anyway. And I'm not here to FUD crypto. I'm not here to FUD anybody or anything, any projects, nothing. That's not what it is. But we know that there is so much bloat. We know there's so much. When you look at the 37 million? 46 million tokens now? Y'all, we looked at this last week and it was like 37 million. How are we adding 10 million tokens a week? Holy tomatoes. Getting on some BC game action. We're going to be, you could bet on March Madness. March Madness is a big thing right now. I'm going to be doing some stuff over the weekend. Obviously, because I don't have to go live in the morning, I will be doing the macro minute over the weekend. We'll be doing a like the weekly newsletter kind of a thing that we've kind of been doing for the last several weeks. But I will be doing some sports gambling on March Madness. And so I think the tournament started yesterday. Had a couple little small things in, but we'll make some bigger bets for some of the we'll let some of the fallout happen, some of the shakeouts, the indecision, and then once we get down to some better basketball, we will in some of the later rounds. So expect that this weekend for sure. I will not buy anything in the crypto market unless Bitcoin goes below 34,000. If it doesn't, I will not be buying anything. I'll only trade the entire next cycle. Same. I'm not. I don't advocate for anybody really to buy any altcoins at all right now. I mean, like, there's some that you can add to your portfolio if you're a firm believer and you understand where the market's going. That's to each their own, that kind of thing. I'm not telling you to buy anything at all except for Bitcoin right now. I think that's the biggest takeaway from a lot of this is that's where the activity is, that's where the action is, that's where the attention is. That's where finance on this level is going. DeFi and tokenization and all that stuff, yes, that will play a role. So the big boys that are participating in that, yes, those are going to be fine as well. But if we are taking another leg down, you would be better off served buying that, DCAing into that, starting your bag, whatever, once we get to that point. And that's an opinion. You could start DCAing if you want now, but I would put that capital into DCAing into Bitcoin only, right? If you had $100, why would you put 50 into Bitcoin and then split up, the other 50 into some altcoins that potentially are going to go down, and then your other $50 is worth like 25. Put it all into Bitcoin right now. Put it all into Bitcoin. And then once we figure out and the dust settles and this thing shake and bakes a little bit, then we can make our decision of what we're going to put our stuff into. We'll be doing my top 5. Look, there's some things that I've got to learn about some other projects that are coming on the scene, right? Like you're looking at number 10, Hyperliquid. Like, I don't know shit about Hyperliquid other than there's a lot of big things happening on it. Like a lot of shit that, we read in the headlines, has come from Hyperliquid. And so we've got to make sure that we understand exactly what's going on. Cause I don't want to say like, oh, that doesn't make the top 5 when it clearly could, right? Like, this thing has come out of like nowhere. And so I want to, be a student of the game, just like you guys are. Remember, that's one thing I said a lot on Web3 Breakfast for, many, many years was, it was a show for the people, by the people. And like that ethos I will never forget. Like, I am just a community member, just like all of us. Like, I'm a student of the game, just like all of us. Like, we're learning every single day. That's the great part of crypto, is that another thing I love to say about some other things we've done before is that we're building the plane as we fly it, right? We're doing that with crypto. We're figuring out like how it works while we're already up in the air. And so, the more that we can, I don't know. Anyway, let's go. What do we say? What did Mike say? Not buying anything until November 4th. I've heard you say that before. I like that. Let's go. I mean, Bitcoin you're safe to buy Bitcoin. I mean, if you just want to DCA into it, remember it can't hurt to buy Bitcoin. You could get wrecked on some other stuff, but Bitcoin's not going to go down that much. And even if we think it's actually going to go down to 30, what did you say, David? 34,000? We got to take a look at the Bitcoin chart here. What gives us 34,000? Where do we see that? Because this wick right here, you got this wick right here and this touch point right here, right? Those to me are some of the most important touch points. And let's go to BTC. Let's go the old, big, full Bitcoin chart. So right here is where we are, which lines basically with this top, right? Because we've gone through that. We've got, actually, we don't want to mess this up. So this is an alarm that we've got. Here is, you can do another one. It starts right here. It actually starts right here. If you look going back this entire line, and this is 49,800, and this is originally the number that when I was thinking about where is this market going, it's this number, right? And it's these touch points, and for this reason why. You've got a big fight here. You had a big fight here after it came down. This was resistance, and then we blew through it, and then we came down and we fought right here, right at resistance again. So this line right here has significant historical value. We came close to it and then got rejected, so I wouldn't consider that to be a thing. Damn near close to it again right here. Damn near close. And they said, whoa, buddy, we're not going there yet. Got sent back down and then blasted through. But look, when you zoom in, got to make sure we're off the. Well, when you zoom in on this, look at this. We came down very close to it a few times again. We were trending down. That ultimately is what set us back up. So that is a massive resistance and support line right there. Let's see. So that puts us right here. We are not far off of it. I think it's like, all right, let's zoom in. Here we go. So this green line is what we're talking about. And from where we are today to this line is another 29%, which is not insane, especially considered we're in a bear market. We are in a downtrend. We're not breaking out of new structure. In fact, we got rejected massively over the last couple days. After a nice little correction, look, rounded bottoms, they pay the bills for sure. We got a nice little scoop. This could turn into a cup and handle. You never know. You never know what's going to happen here. This could be that we were just like some of these other times in here. You know? Here we go. Boom, sent down. Boom, sent down. It could be like that. You know, I would think that because, look, we are headed down massively in this massive trajectory. We know interest is way down. There's no retail support. The structure is being built. The headlines are amazing. Nation states are buying Bitcoin. Luxembourg has added 1% to their sovereign, to their fund. You know, the whole idea of where this is going, massive opportunity, because this is going down, much like the Solana thing, going down to $20. The whole idea of, you know, you're in a trend until you're not. We are not. Instead of hand drawing these, let's do this correctly. Boom. I mean, yeah, let's get rid of these lines that we drew. So you can see very clearly, Bitcoin is in a downtrend. It's been in one since October. We may be on the high side of it, on the higher side of it, right? You know, high middle, I would say is where we're at on this whole thing, right? Because if you were to, you know, that's roughly the middle there, and we just passed it. We could still go up. You could get up to 75, get rejected, and still stay down in this trend without, again, breaking structure and then putting us in. Once we break through this line and we close and we start going up here, that's when it's very clear that we need to shift back into a bullish bias and start thinking about going long versus short. Like right now, I'm looking for short opportunities, not so much long opportunities. They are there, right? When we zoom in, let's go to the 48. Thing drives me crazy, man. And I see everybody do it, so I'm not the only one. I am not the only one. So look, like there are opportunities, right? And this is the 48 minutes. So, you know, we've had, so back here, starting with the 14th, right? You had an opportunity to get in with, I mean, this would be a massive multi-day long. I'm not doing that. You know, some people are doing that, but look, you could get in right here, you're out, right? Wait for the dust to settle, maybe get back in right here, you're out, come back down, get back in, out, in, out, in, out. This is such a trader's market. As long as you're paying attention and you understand, like, what you should be doing here. And this is what we're going to go through on. I'm going to start doing some stuff on the Discord. I said today that we are going to be in there for a while. I think that what we can do is go over some, I don't know. I guess it'll be like the first intro day, and then we'll figure out what we want to talk about. But I'll be in there today. And then we'll set a time. What time is it right now? It is 8:30 in the morning. Sometime afternoon. Sometime in the early afternoon. I got to figure out what our family schedule is today. No, my daughter has gymnastics class. Her grandmother is taking her. Yeah, sometime in the early afternoon. Sometime around noon, 12:30 or 1, maybe in there. We'll figure it out. We'll see what everybody's availability is like. How about that? What time works today to chat in here? There we go. Look, we're live in the Discord during the live. That's funny. I sounded like Sam there. Radio voice. Okay. Let's do this. We are, man, I just lost my train of thought here. I'm going into the Discord. We were looking at the Bitcoin chart. We're going to go live. This would be a great opportunity for you guys to be smashing the like button. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. But okay, so that was the Bitcoin on the 48-minute. Let's zoom back out. Because this could be, and we're talking opportunities right now, right? There's a short opportunity. This was the long opportunity. This could be the short opportunity, especially if we continue to go down. So let's take a look on a 15-minute level and get rid of this. Let's see. I would say probably not, right? I would say we probably have, although we are sold. All right, we'll take a look. Remember, it's only 8:30 in the morning. We don't know when the best opportunities for us to be getting on this are. I don't like that. I don't like that chart at all. I don't like that. I would think that we're probably going to break down is what's going to happen. So you're sure if you want to do a quick scalp, I would think that that's probably the right opportunity. Let's put it right here. We'll come back to it just in a second to see where it's at. And let's do. Were there any other charts? So we haven't even looked at Ethereum yet. Here we go. What's going on in the world of Ethereum? Ethereum's flat. This is also the 15-minute chart. Let's look at the hourly. Kind of trading flat a little bit. Since yesterday. Okay. Got a call here. This one would have been not really. Well, this isn't the 5-minute chart. We need the 5-minute chart. All right. Let's see. What did this call get you? And let's see. Let's go from the body here up here. Got you almost 0.75%. Throw some leverage on there, and you got yourself some quick scalpage. So there's another one. This one did not. I got to find out what the green and then the blue means. Is this like a total confirmation? Is this like an early stage, and then once you get the blue, you get the total confirmation, or we have to figure out what that blue dot means. I will talk to Mike, and we will figure that out. Let's see here. What is going on in the chat? 38 to 42-ish, but if BTC doesn't go below 34, I'll not be buying anything, only trading for the next cycle. Yeah. Staying mainly in cash right now, doing smaller, higher trade leverage trades. My lens in the last 8 years into it. Absolutely. The coins that we all thought were going to go on and do massive things, I honestly feel like some of them are, like the chain links. Like that's, that's an old school coin. That's a coin that a lot of us invested in early on and believed in and bought, drank the Kool-Aid pretty early on it. And I think what they've done, what they've accomplished is all massive stuff. This was the same thing that we had talked about yesterday, like even with like Ondo, right? Like, the Ondo price is not following what they're doing and what they're actually accomplishing, right? And we're seeing, I think the whole global shift happening, and some projects are going to absolutely come out of this in a different shape, right? And totally crush this entire growth market. And some are never going to come back out of the depths. I hope every coin that we have in our portfolios is a winner. Is a winner chicken dinner. I mean, we can just go like this because that was an up and down kind of a thing, right? There we go. We'll hit some. And then right here, same thing. We hit a lot of bottom bodies. A lot of bottom bodies. We'll let the wicks go. A lot of bottom bodies right there. And then a bomb. So this is the symmetrical triangle that we are in. Could break up, could break down. Let's see. This is what the move here. And then so either we go there, or we go here. So we'll see what happens as we navigate this triangle. We're on Ethereum. We're either going up to 2185, or we're going down towards 2101. Let's see. It's like a little fish mouth. We'll see what happens. We going up or going down? What do you guys think? Drop it in the chat. Is ETH going up or going down after we break out of this triangle here? We could make this is the same thing like what we did the other night. It's the gator chomp. We even got the eyes. Forget about this one here. Gator chomp. We'll see what happens. We might not even make it out of this triangle here. We may go break down beforehand, but that's what I'm looking at for levels. So I wonder if that, either one of those would play out. So watch your ETH charts. We'll see. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin broke down from our line, right? Yeah, well, we were on a different line maybe because we were on not the trend. We're building this new trend here. All right, let's get into the news. Let's get into the news because we got to make sure that we run through this. Look at this. We knew it. We freaking knew it. We called it. Yesterday was an interesting day. And we had asked, I wonder if BlackRock, because it was showing nothing like all day. It was showing red, like a red nothing all day. And then now, negative 3.86 thousand. We had some outflows yesterday. This is ETH. Dang it. There you go. It was still outflows. We still had outflows the last 2 days for IBIT and Fidelity right there. The whole market right here, a lot of the ETFs had outflows. We had a good thing going, man. I'll tell you what. Where's the... We can just go to Bitcoin 7. Can't we do the 7 day? Nope. We can't shrink this one either. This doesn't have a scale. So, but we got it. It's the fair trade. It's the market. It's not just straight up all the time. Yeah, we had more days here and that brought the price up. But look, markets are cyclical, man. Up and down, up and down. That may have been just a little hopium pump. That may have been the last little hoorah, this 8 days straight of inflow. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the 6th was definitely the 6th was a positive inflow. So it was the 8 straight days of positive inflows into IBIT, and which ultimately controls the entire market share. Dang it, the graphic still didn't get updated. Let's see. I'll tell you where we're at right now so that we are not in a trade currently. No trades going on at this particular moment. 1961. So almost double the account by now. Woohoo. Woohoo. Okay, all crypto ETFs. Did we get any? Nah, man, they still got this thing out here, but there's our 7-day crypto ETF net flows. We had, remember, a good thing going, and then a couple days of outflows consecutively. Now, we'll see how today ends up shaking. Typically, the price is a good indicator of how we're going to go. So right now, we have not made a decision. Again, remember, it is only 8:45 here on the East Coast of the United States. Markets open up at 9:30. So, between like 9:30 and between 9 and 9:30, we will start to see the markets move, and that will generally probably show us at least a general direction. Now, I know things change from moment to moment, but it's Friday. We should be relatively straightforward, I would think. All right. U.S. and we were talking about the some of the things we were talking about today. The U.S. China splitting on digital money, Wall Street turning Bitcoin into a ticker, mortgages moving on chain, and obviously we're going to go through RWAs and tokenization with tokenized assets and all that stuff, and then AI starting to run the show. Our first headline for the day. Make sure you guys smash the like button. U.S. China split on digital money deepens as stablecoin debate stalls the Clarity Act, and the crypto push for yield clashes with banks. Crypto advocates have increasingly pointed to competition with China's new interest-bearing ECNY demand legislative clarity on stablecoin yields, but China is charting a completely different course for the future of digital money. The world's two largest economies are not so much competing in digital assets as they are pursuing very different strategies. That was from Andrew Fay. He's a partner at law firm King and Wood. This is over in Hong Kong. So obviously, this is one of the things that we were talking about, with kind of the adoption, and I think specifically with like the strategic reserve and what we're looking for, in this new tokenized economy. Again, Bitcoin is the king, right? And the whole idea of this, and I know this is talking about stablecoin yield and all that stuff, but the whole idea of what the U.S. is trying to push, we're gonna see fast-tracked legislation and regulation from other countries that hate us, I would think, unless this and not that they hate us or whatever, but I think we don't really have the best terms with China right now. Although I've read something that there's like some I don't know if this is a conspiracy but now Trump is secretly making deals, and we are working with China and Russia and all this stuff to to really to change the whole global structure. I don't know. I don't know too much about the conspiracies right now, and I would like to get back into it. And maybe over the next couple weeks, once we nail the schedule here and we start to work with doing some interviews and all that stuff, and we figure out what's going on, we'll do some spaces. We'll hop on stage again, or we'll join some other shows. But I want to do a conspiracy theory again. But I just want to do it as a Twitter space. We're not going to live stream it. We're not going to put it on the YouTube channel anymore. That was a disaster. That got us shut down for 10 days. But it would be fun to talk about this stuff. It's fun to talk about, but I don't need to be. It's like an unrecorded space, no live stream, no nothing. We're just gonna talk amongst us. So we'll get back into that. All right, the internet and the next couple these articles, right? So starting with this U.S. China one, the next one that we're gonna get into, we're just gonna kind of brief into them because the whole point is to really get onto RWA.xyz and to look at the charts and to look at the different aspects of this, right? Like tokenized securities, the treasuries, the stable coins, all that stuff. Like what's making up the RWA and why are all these headlines actually so bullish, right? And we talked about this, and I feel like it's going to be the theme on most of like the morning macros and stuff. Is like when you look at tokenization and you look at the ecosystems, like I feel like we've got the duty to report on the market cap all the time. Like we started, it was 24 billion, and then within like 2 weeks we're at 27 billion. Like the number is just going to be growing astronomically, and as long as we are continuing to show that number and watching it grow, you can see with your own eyes that this is a great focus for all of us to be looking at in crypto and where the opportunities. And I would love if you guys got some projects or some companies that of that are working on this stuff, drop them in the chat and let me know. I will reach out and talk to talk to them about getting them on. I did that yesterday where I reached out to like a media contact online through their websites, like, hey, somebody said that I should talk to you. So let's let's set something up. Waiting to hear back from them. But let's say this is like an institutional company, and like who knows what they'll say or even if they'll respond. But the more people we can talk to and to talk about these headlines and what's going on in the world with tokenization and finance and the ecosystem moving forward, I think that's a massive opportunity. And so again, these next couple articles are all about tokenization and kind of why we're seeing the world shift to on-chain finance. And so the internet didn't digitize finance, tokenization will. This was an article in Forbes. Beyond firms like Netscape, Google, and AOL, before firms like Netscape, Google, and AOL built accessible, intuitive on-ramps to the internet, it was largely the domain of academics and the military. And the military is where the internet started. We know that. And think about, it's funny. I posted something the other day. It was an AOL disk, right? Like it was so rudimentary back then, right? Like pictures loaded from the top down. It's like you watch pictures loaded. You heard the broadband thing with like the dial. Like kids won't even understand the struggles that we had trying to get online to chat with the homies in the chat groups. You couldn't. If your older sister was on the phone, no go. Your mom was on the phone, no go. If you were out of minutes, you had to go to like Walgreens. You had to go to the grocery store or whatever. Walgreens, I remember having them. Man, what were some of the other places? I don't know. But you would go to get your disc and your minutes, and you just pop it in there and get yourself some new minutes, and you're back online, man. It would be a struggle if you ran out of minutes, and that was it. That was it for the day. Kids these days have no clue what it's like struggling with the internet. My daughter in the end, man, what's wrong with the internet? You're 4. Go outside and play. Before firms like Netscape, Google, and AOL built accessible, intuitive on-ramps to the internet, it was largely a domain of the military. Yep. The success did not come from reinventing the underlying technologies. Instead, they layered on applications that reduced the early internet's complexity. Protocols like TCP, IP, and the telecommunications infrastructure that enabled the early web remained largely invisible, even as books, music, communication, and eventually commerce transformed into digital formats accessible to anyone, anywhere. We know that. Larry Fink, here we go. We got a quote from our guy, Larry, Uncle Lair, CEO of the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock. He penned an article late last year in The Economist of how tokenization could transform finance. He said, tokenization could advance at the pace of the internet faster than most expect, with enormous growth over the coming decades. We believe that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And unequivocally, we can show the proof of how all of this is happening. Not only looking at these articles and reading these headlines and kind of skimming these stories, but when we look at the charts. And, obviously you got to believe what the charts tell you, but that's a whole nother ballgame. Let's see here. In practice, it means tokenization is evolving not as a disruptive overlay, but as an embedded infrastructure layer. Couldn't agree more. Literally could not agree more that this is it. This is where we're going. Canton, I got a buddy who works for Canton. An example of a blockchain network purpose-built by the company, digital asset for institutional finance markets, acts as a network of networks. Let's see here. Enable real-time efficiencies, 24/7 global transactions, and unlocking the full potential of cryptocurrencies, digital assets, and the continued convergence of decentralized and traditional finance. I'll tell you what, guys. I mean, look, Morgan Stanley Bitcoin Trust to trade as the MSBT on the New York Stock Exchange. Here's another one. Morgan Stanley going big. They confirmed that they're going big. SEC approved it. MSBT places the product alongside other spot Bitcoin ETFs that launched following regulatory approvals in 2024, a shift that opened the market to traditional finance institutions. I know you're like, well, we don't want that. Too bad you lost. It's over. The institutions won. But that's a good thing. Ultimately, it's a good thing. If you got a long-term mindset, it's going to be a good thing. I promise you. The whole ethos of the peer-to-peer and damn the man, that's gone, unfortunately. There'll be some other things that replace that and privacy and all that stuff, but For the most part, we should embrace the world going on chain. That's my opinion. This is a natural progression. We can't just primarily rent the technology to do this. People expect Morgan Stanley. They trust our brand to be no fail. 100%. And then let's see, we got a few more tokenization ones. ECGI advances mortgage tokenization pilot as institutional market rails continue to develop. Do you guys know what that means? It means mortgages, real estate, going on chain. This is a press release. So take it for what it's worth. Let's see here. Wall Street absorbing Bitcoin. Resale goes on chain. Loans, collateral, ownership becoming programmable. That's what's saying in here. Let's see. We didn't get a TLDR, but we'll just go through this a little bit. On March 6th, 2026, coverage Inside Mortgage Finance reported that ECGI is testing the tokenization of residential mortgages through a pilot launched with Numbing's Potentially Labs. Let's go here. Let's just go there. The agile infrastructure for institutional capital, tokenized real-world assets with upgradable smart contracts, future-proof compliance, automated lifecycle management, and T+0 settlement. Remember, it was T+2. It went down to T+1. Now, T+0. Beyond tokenization, intelligent infrastructure. Token issuance. Launch faster, distribute globally, infrastructure that adapts to your role. Okay. For asset managers, for fund administrators, private credit, real estate, SPVs, smart contracts that evolve with the law. Interesting. See, like this is like the kind of thing we got to figure out how to get a company like this and how to do an interview with them. No minks. All right, I'm gonna keep that thing open. We're gonna do an interview with them, hopefully. EtherFi strategic $25 million investment in Plume's Nest RWA protocol unlocks revolutionary yield opportunities. And this is interesting. I thought this was very interesting. There's obviously an AI glitch in this article because look, you got a picture and it's Tokinas. And then another picture, Tokinias. Same picture, ish. Just double time. In a landmark move for decentralized finance, the leading liquid restaking protocol Ether.fi has committed a substantial $25 million strategic investment into Nest, which is the pioneer tokenized real estate. Let's go. Let's just go to that. You guys can read the articles yourself. Nest, well, we don't need the article. Nest by Plume. Here we go. Plume Nest Point Season 1. Oh, okay. It's a season. Get your points. Get your yaps. Get your yaps. No, thank you. Okay, but what's going on here? Featured Nest Alpha diversified real world income vault designed as a core on-chain allocation built to deliver consistent risk. Wisdom tree. Go in here. Ooh, what did Uber just say? That sounded scary. Ooh, up to $10 off your next premium ride. Thanks, Uber. So here's where you get them. You can get into the Nest by Plume here. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take more of a look into this. Let's go back. Anybody in Plume? EtherFi strategic $25 million investment in Plume Nest. Mechanics of real world asset tokenization. We get that. All right. I'm gonna definitely take more of a look here and see. Okay, next one. BNB Chain TVL tops $3 billion as institutional RWA adoption grows. I mean, see what I'm saying? All the chains are crazy. They're all going off the chain. They're all going Massive growth. Institutional RWA adoption is driving BNB chain growth with over 3 billion. I didn't know that there was a whole lot of institutional. I mean, obviously, if we're doing tokenization over in like China, in parts of Asia where Binance is massive. Remember, it's not really massive here in the US, but we're not the only economy in the world. And so this would make sense. Circle's US YC dominates BNB chain RWAs, making about 93 of the total supply. BNB surged past 680, marking its highest level in several weeks. What was the... Yeah, see, this is a chart, unlike the other ones where they have new lower lows. This one is consistently making higher lows, consistently. I would think this is your 640 for BNB. I would, look, from the depths, when you pass from here to here, whatever that percentage is, right? Double it. So from 6 to 1,200, so 12 to 24. Sounds like in the next bull run, $2,400 is programmed, and if you just going on the scale, probably going to end up going higher. So that a long-term outlook on BNB, fucking absolutely. And I'm not an exchange token guy. Just understand the narrative there. That thing is going to be controlled by that market domination. BNB is, and they're not slowing down. We know that. All of that, all of our RWA conversation that we've had to this point is to get us here, to look at some of these charts and some of these stats. If you take a look, global market right now, 27.35 billion. This thing grows by hundreds of millions of dollars every single day. It seems like we're getting, by the end of next week, we'll probably be damn near close to 29 billion. It's crazy, the growth. 10% in the last month is where we're seeing this thing go. And so and from all the headlines we've read, from all the articles that we're looking at, look, there's no slowdown in sight for any of this stuff. And so when you look at it, massive opportunities, guys. And we got to do some more deep dives when we're going to. But right here, you can see where the bulk of, this market cap is made up. U.S. Treasury debt, 11.7 billion. Commodities, 5.3 billion. Asset-backed credit, 3.2 billion. Specialty finance, what is specialty finance? We got to figure out how to get in there. U.S. non-government debt, 1.2 billion. Stocks, 934 milli. Corporate credit, 732. And diverse. There's probably a way to get in here, huh? Specialty finance. No, there's no side here. Let's look at real estate. That was one of the things we were looking at. Look at this. 440 million tokenized real estate. You got 71 assets, 12,000 holders. Okay, this is something we want to watch this. I want to make sure that we're watching this tokenized real estate metrics, because this is going to be a big opportunity, because if it's only at 440 million, pretty soon we are going to be in the billions, and then once that thing gets into the billions, it will catch on. We're going to want to make sure. So what is the most? Groma coin. Okay. Groma coin. Oh, they got it on it. RWA. Not XYZ. Platform is growing. Okay. Well, this is good that we have this kind of information. We need a way to go to the website, though, which was right here. Here's their white paper. Our mission is to enable everyone to own a bit of the world. Groma coin is the real estate coin. This is the number one in real estate right now. I've never heard of this. On-chain is an ERC 3643, a smart contract that enables the fungible ERC 20 specification with digital logic that enables it to meet securities requirements. Very interesting. We got to look into this. Claude T-Rex protocol, the standard for permission tokens. Okay. All right, we're going back here to this Groma Can we get each Groma coin represents an ownership share of the Groma Real Estate Trust or REIT that owns and operates a diversified portfolio of real estate. Okay. Okay, let's go to their website, Groma. Invest in the Groma Real Estate. Invest on WeFunder. Is this where you get their token? You can't get their token on the open market? Own a bit of the world, current value $1.05. 7% last year. 5% appreciation. Cash distributions. Okay. Each Groma coin is tokenized share of the Groma REIT. What we're talking about, meaning it's backed by productive real estate in the U.S. regulated structure. 125 properties. Oh, let's look at their properties. This is interesting, guys. They're in Boston. All right, we definitely want to talk to these guys. I got a way to get a hold of X. On your bit of the world. You know what I was going to tokenize real estate. All right, we're going to talk to them. I want to get involved with this. This is the number one real estate RWA. Look, because like at the end of the day, like look, we all know the Proppy, and some of the other ones that are doing their things, but I feel like those will be acquisitions of the companies that like this. We got to figure out who started this. This seems like a very high level organization. Well, that's our last article. Dang it. So where do we find all this from? Anyway, so tokenized real estate. That we got on a little bit of a rabbit hole, a little bit of a sidetrack there. GM, ESP, appreciate you, brother. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing a deep dive into some tokenized real estate stuff because it feels like there's that looks to me like a really big opportunity. Okay, so next. BlackRock staked ETH fund. We were talking about this the other day. This is the one 82% of the rewards go to the investors on this. They went $250 million in their first week. We'll look at the chart in just a second. The iShares staked ETH trust reached $254 million worth of assets AUM after just launching a week ago. It means investors have bought $146 million worth of shares since the fund debuted, on top of more than 100 million seated in the fund. So that's crazy. Yeah, remember, the new fund stakes between 70 to 90% of its ETH holdings and passes 82% of resulting rewards to investors through monthly payments, which the remaining 80% split among the trust custodians and staking service providers. So the cost of doing business. But 82% just for staking and getting that staked ETH. Here we go. Let's see. They charge a 0.25% sponsor fee, discounted to 0.12% for his first year on top of the up to 1.25 billion in assets. It entered a market where Grayscale and Rex Osprey had already launched competing staked Ethereum products. There you go. But Grayscale Ethereum staking ETF added staking in October 25. Boom, boom, boom. Net outflows. The Grayscale Ethereum staking mini ETF was formed in April 2024, although it didn't initially launch with staking. That wasn't added until October 6, 2025, the same week the ETH fund added staking. BlackRock offering different from both the Grayscale ETF funds because it was conceived and launched with staking rather than adding the feature later. Okay, there you go. That's like it's like what happens in stadiums, right? Stadiums across the country for college and pros and all that stuff. They all tour, they all know, they figure out what's the best, and then they just try to one up everybody. So that's the goal, is you get equally awesome or better every time. That's the goal. That should be the goal anyway. And we should all be doing that. That's like the whole 1% better. Like we're going to have days where we regress, obviously, but you should always be trying to get 1% better. You should always be getting better. That's the goal. Here is the iShares Staked Ethereum Trust ETF. As you can see, where we can take some of our indicators off here so we don't need to see the lines. But as you can see, this thing ripped and roared. We took in some, obviously had some great things, but over the last couple days, we took a nice little correction here, back closer to where things have started. You see this thing launched at 27.20. We were back to 27.56. Looks like it went all the way up to 30.92. So there is that. Stable coins, Bitcoin could reshape finance, and this is from billionaire investor Stanley Druckenmiller. He said stablecoins could become the whole payment system in about a decade. What to know? Here we go. As we were saying, billionaire investor Stanley Druckenmiller said he expects global payment systems to run largely on stablecoins within 15 years, 10 to 15 years, what he said, calling them more efficient, faster, and cheaper than current infrastructure. He praised stablecoins such as Tether and USDC as a productive use of blockchain tech and reiterated his views that much of the broader crypto sector remains a solution looking for a problem. And he said Bitcoin has probably secured a role as a store of value and questioned how long the US dollar will remain the world's reserve currency, suggesting it may be replaced within 50 years. And it's already well over its shelf here. We had talked about that before. Let's look and see. Can we find this? Let's see. There is. Well, here's a great one. So as you can see, the inevitable. Okay, great. This is actually. It was back from February of 2022. And I know that we've been talking about this kind of stuff since then. Let's go through this. This is a blast from the past. Here we go. An article from 2022, 4 years ago. But this is absolutely so true. And like, if you look at it throughout time, these flags represent the length of the flag represents the amount of time that the reserve currency has been. And there is an average, right? I forget the statistic at this point. Is it here? Well, look, there's our guy, Stanley Druckenmiller, back in 2022 talking about this stuff. But if you look at the length of time, and oh man, the number escapes my brain, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. But if you look at the average length of span over time that the global reserve would be, a specific currency, we have exceeded that. And it's time, obviously, to move on to something else. And I feel like that whole thing is inevitable. And I think a lot of people do, right? Like, that's where the shift is going. That is definitely where this entire shift is going. And so, as you can see here, let's go back to our article that we were on where... Oh, wait, it was on this, wasn't it? So if there's anything else we got to look at, I assume our whole payment system would be stable coins in 10 to 15 years. He said in an interview, efficient, quicker, and cheaper. Blockchain and the use of stable coins are incredibly useful in terms of productivity. I think stable coins are, you've heard me talk about this before, where I think stable coins are the future of business tokens, right? Instead of meme coins, instead of coins that we're expecting the price to go way up, it's going to moon. No, the whole idea is that it is just your ecosystem token, right? So say J Chain's Pizza, and we accept the pizza, my J Chain's Pizza token for your pizza. You don't have J Chain's Pizza token? Well, that's okay. You can pay with stablecoin. You can pay with anything. You can pay with fiat, and at the transaction point, that is switched and swapped over to the J-Chain's Pizza token, and that is deposited into our account. And if you get any change, obviously it's back into fiat or however it works. If you need, however that, obviously you don't get change when you pay with credit or whatever. But so the whole idea of that's my ecosystem token, and I generate a market cap so that I can show my success from there. But ultimately, it's not about getting it up to $1 gazillion. It's just keeping it at $1. It's what functions my ecosystem. It's what generates the idea that I'm a successful entrepreneur. My business is working well because my price is $1 and I've got a market cap and it's continually growing. And I feel like that is a big potential for stable coins to really play a role in where we're going. Again, like, so that people don't get wrecked. Like, instead of buying a fucking coin that is 0001 and it's gonna go to a penny, man, and everybody gets wrecked because the devs and the founders sell it all. Instead of that, like, we're actually putting money into, I don't know, businesses and people who are doing something that are worthwhile to advance our society. And so, it could be, and I always use the example of Joe the plumber, right? Like, it's Joe the plumber's ecosystem. That's the coin that he's using. So now you could use that as, use your search, use your say, hey, Claude, pull up the market cap of all the plumbers locally so we can see. And obviously, again, there's ways that we'd have to safeguard people from wash trading so that you just rip up your market cap even though you're a scumbag. There's ways to do this, right? And so now, you look and say, look, pull up the top market cap plumbers in my area, and from there, who's doing the best work because they're getting the most business. You know what I'm saying? That's an opportunity, and we'll see where all of this goes. But if we can kind of change the course of direction of launching fucking meme coins for no reason and using, again, stablecoin as business opportunity, that's what I'm for. Thinking 2022 was 4 years ago was wild. Absolutely. It's too expensive to pay with actual money. Yeah. Panties. A real world asset instead of a junk token. 100%. Like, that's where my mind sees all this stuff. That's where I want to go. That's where I want this ecosystem to go, is where every business is tokenized and it represents what's actually happening in, like, within specific verticals. And so, whether you're a pizza shop or a plumber or whatever, it doesn't matter. A nurse, I guess that doesn't really, you're not really I guess you could be a contract nurse, right? There's people who are doing that during they were travel nurses. So you could do that. So if you needed to hire a nurse for a hospital or whatever, you could figure out, who's moving around, who's capable. I'm telling you, it's sky's the fucking limit. We're so far away from what the intended use was with a lot of crypto, and where its potential is now, that I think we've got to be way open to things that could revolutionize what we're doing. I know I do. I hope you guys are along with that journey too. Okay, so that's it for our big positive news. Our one FUD article of the day today: Crypto.com laying off 12% of its workforce as latest company to cite AI and job cuts. We've been talking about the optimization, AI, everything, right? Every company is doing this. AI is replacing operations. Finance is becoming automated. It's becoming more scalable. We're going to see this more in a lot more industries. From there, people are going to have to figure out some other opportunities. I feel like the writing is on the wall. We've all been talking about AI is going to take our jobs. I mean, if it can do it from an operational standpoint, faster, quicker, better, no emotion, no overhead, no error. There will be errors, and that's funny. That was the one thing I had put in one of the macro minutes, was like, with all this automation, what happens if oh no, that'll actually be in the video later today. Intelligent finance. It's Intelligent Finance Friday. I forgot all about that. That video will be live today, this afternoon. So make sure you check that out. That is a whole several part series on the intersection of AI, crypto, and fintech, and how I'm calling this intelligent finance. There's other people that are calling it intelligent finance, and I'm going to do a little a fun, 8-part series on this, and hopefully, you enjoy it and you come along for the ride. So later today, make sure you guys set your noti bells on the YouTube for that. And then I'll post that probably in the Discord first, so those people can get a first crack at it, and then we'll set it to the other channels later in the day. So unfortunately, that with AI, there are going to be some casualties of war, right? Like that's just the way that it works. As entity, as a business, as an owner, all that stuff, you want to try to find ways to trim your cost. You don't want bloat. The whole point is to really run a tight ship and maximize your efficiencies and your profits and your gains, and that's the society we live in. And if you think otherwise, you're fooling yourself, unfortunately. And so with all of this, with streamlining processes and all of that, we will see workforce like what crypto.com is laying off, 12%, and we will see that become a little bit more common, unfortunately. And so this is, it's a call to action for some people to understand, look, AI could replace you. Start working on something different or make yourself irreplaceable. I think it's how you do that. Crypto Fam Radio, what's up, fam? Hope you're doing well today. Appreciate you being here. What's my view on AI? I love AI. I think it is absolutely efficient. I use it for a lot of my workflow. I use it so I can, when I pick all of my headlines in the morning, I help it structure the flow of the show. It helps me, get ready to have a very successful title with some SEO, with my description. It helps me generate the thumbnails. I use AI as a workflow expediter 100%. I love it. I think that there's probably some bigger opportunities. I feel like there's probably some advancements. I would like to find some other ways to use it so that maybe even takes more, opportunity away from me and puts it into the automated process, and that's things like clipping, posting, finding the news articles, and just being dynamic ways of posting that, on the W3BC Media channel, so that it can be more up in the moment versus being a bottleneck, that kind of stuff. I love it. I freaking love it. I think that it is, if you're not using AI, you're getting left behind. In some industries, I have a niece who's an artist, and painfully, art is, I think, under attack. Again, and like I said, I use it for my thumbnails. I think for like a graphic designer, like your days are numbered. And now there'll always be things that you can do and oversight of what the AI is doing. But for me, if I were to employ someone just for thumbnails, and I get emails all the time of people who want to do thumbnails, it's going to cost a ton of fucking money to do thumbnails. It's going to cost more than what do you pay a month? Like 30, 40 bucks for the AI subscriptions and the video stuff. Like it's going to cost me a ton more to have someone else do it than AI. And like at this point, I feel like the structure of doing the pictures, yes, sometimes it's fucking whack. And if you try to lay into it and build on a whack picture, it's just going to get worse. If you get it good right off the rip, you don't mess with it. But it's getting better, right? And so, with that opportunity, like it's fine for me to, at this particular moment, I feel like employ AI to do my thumbnails than someone else, because that money could be spent somewhere else at this particular moment. And I feel like a lot of other industries, a lot of other people think the same thing, right? Is that, look, for the job that it does a great enough job to where I don't have to really worry about it. I know that it's going to work. And again, for all the things that we do, it's working out for me. So that was a long-winded way of saying yes. Use AI, posted on YouTube, got 550 subs in 2 weeks. That's awesome. Like I had seen Mason, who I'm sure a lot of you guys know. He was a TikToker, got into crypto, XRP and HBAR, like his two favorites, Crypto Mason. He posted something about his dad got like a gazillion views, like doing these crazy AI photos, right? Like one of them was like, a guy, it was probably him, right? Laying in a cheetah suit with a camera, on a safari kind of a thing. Like, just doing these funny AI pictures had gotten a shit ton of views. And so it works. It works for engagement. If you're trying to build your brand, like it should help you. You should be using it to complement what you're doing, not to duplicate, not to be a bottleneck. And so I firmly agree that it's a great thing. I don't like AI, but it's here to stay. Honestly, needs regulation and the ability to be exempted from exposure. Not possible right now. Hopefully, it's coming. Like, okay, so some aspects of the AI, and I get it. You can't cherry pick. You can't cherry pick, but we're gonna cherry pick a little bit right now. The whole idea of X becoming unusable when Grok came onto the scene and everybody was scantily clad, put me in a bikini. Like I couldn't even open up X in front of my daughter. I felt uncomfortable doing it because it was everywhere. And I feel like they have regulated that. They had stopped that because I don't see that all day, every day anymore, which thank goodness. It may still be there, but it got out of my algorithm, thank God. Uh, that's again, so that's a cherry picking thing. You think about this, right? Crypto.com laying off 12% of their workforce because AI optimization. Like the writing was on the wall. We knew it. It sucks. I get it. It sucks. But that means that maybe those people eventually could. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't want to tell them to go learn something new because that sucks. And who knows where they're at in their career? Who knows how long they've been there? All that kind of stuff. There will be opportunity elsewhere, and so you hope that people can just figure it out. And we've all at some point in our life fallen down and had to pick ourselves up and move on. And that sucks. And I hate saying that, but with it, that's just the way that life works. And so leverage AI as a tool. Ooh, work for yourself. Yeah, 100%. Work for yourself and leverage AI as a tool. What? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I wouldn't expect. And it's funny that you say that because the people who have totally given up and use AI for everything, right? Like they can't think for themselves anymore. They can't talk. It's just slop. It's just horrible. And when you look at that and you think like, okay, you can't rely on it solely. You have to, like you said, use it as a tool. Like you carry on, you use it as a tool. Like I don't use it to like do everything for me. I use it to expedite like my morning and to get things going so that I can do what I'm doing. I can look at my charts. I can read the news. I can look at that stuff while things are happening in the background. And it's just like you said, it's a tool. It's an efficiency optimizer. And that's it. Ooh, boom. My cousin has over 4 million subscribers and his best friend has over 15 million. On point, says Lily. I appreciate you, Lily. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I feel like that is going to do it for the day. We're going to be looking into some of these things that we found online today, this grama, this real estate. I'm going to be looking into them. If you guys know anything about it, let me know. Shoot me a message. But I am definitely going to reach out. They seem to be headquartered in Boston. That's all their properties. Sounds like I will be finding a way to get myself up to Boston to go have a meeting with them because that's something I want to do is start doing a lot of on location interviews. So if you are here in the US and you want to do an on location interview, get at me, dog, because I am so on board with that. I've got the ability to travel around this country relatively cheaply, like relatively cheaply. And so I'm okay to start doing some of these live interviews because I feel like the synergy is always better. Things go better like when you're just looking at each other. You can like take some social cues and some visual cues and all, and it's just the conversations always go a lot better. So that being said, have a wonderful day. Let's do an on location interview, fam. I love that crypto fam radio. Shoot me a DM. Let's talk about it. I am on board for that. Okay, that's it for today's episode of the morning macro. We got our idea of where things are going. Couldn't be much more bullish on the future of crypto at all, like literally at all. When it comes to where things are going in the market today, I'm probably going to go back down. We're on we're here. Let's open up trading view. Let's look at where we're at. This is the hourly. Let's zoom it down to a scalping zone, the 15-minute. Ooh, we broke out of that uptrend. Ooh, well, maybe we knew that already because obviously this is longer than the show's been going on, I would think. But we're getting ready to set our goalposts for the day. We will keep this on the 15-minute candle. And, you know, what we like to do, we'll say use this as the example because it's very easy for us to move them. But we give ourselves, and let's do, we don't want to do white. Let's do yellow. So say this was the 930 candle, and we set our goalposts. In case you guys don't know anything about this this little trading strategy that we've been working on. So we wait for the markets to open at 9:30. We draw the high and the low, and then we wait. We wait for the 9:30 candle to close. So 9:45, that's when we're glued to the charts. That's when we're checking what's going on. Because if we break down and we continue to break down, you would want to probably get into a short. And now we have seen things change or whatever. You could always wait for a breakdown, come back up, because it does this quite often, touches here, and then rocket ships back down. It also will sometimes come back up in here, go back through like it did yesterday, and then go up. So we're always letting the first candle, the 9:30, the 15-minute close, and then at 9:45, we start paying attention. So candle launches in 2 minutes. So we will effectively move this over here to where the 9:30 candle will start. And then as the candle grows and contracts, we will change our lines and we'll set that up. And so hopefully you guys can get some trades in today. So to translate, Blocky just did DoorDash. What? Blocky, what's up, my G? What is up, my G? Hope you're doing well. Blocky, doing some DoorDash? Oh, you guys are fun. I appreciate you. Okay, so check the charts. The markets are going live in just a little bit. Remember, liquidity won't be as high. Volatility could be a little bit sharper. Some of these candles could be fake outs. So be ready to make moves. Take your profits. If you're scalping, get in, get out. If you're day trading, you know, pay attention to where you're at. And if you're setting a long-term generational, just hang on, because we're probably going to go a little bit lower. We did break out of this uptrend structure. We are down here. We'll see if we can fight and get back up into it, or if we are going to continue to go back down. If we do that, I'm definitely thinking like 65 is on the table, especially with this line down here. We did get, if we blow past this 68, remember what was once a wick becomes a candlestick. If we blow past this right here, I feel like, you know, we've got a lot more momentum that's going to push us down. So be on the charts, be on the trades, be on the lookout. Make sure that you guys get yourself a BitUnex account. Join the trading team. There is the March Carnival going on right now. You can share up to, like, I think it's $250,000 right now is what the prize pool is up to. But as the competition goes on, as more trading goes, that continues to go up. As the volume for the entire competition, not just our group, as the entire competition goes up, the rewards go up. So the more we trade, the better the rewards are, and hopefully we'll all reap those rewards. Also, we are going to be doing a $100 to $1,000 trade competition for our team locally starting next week, I believe. I'll be looking at it this weekend. I want to talk to my guy to see if we can get some of the numbers and see if we can look at the statistics. And, you know, we'll do prizes like volume prizes. We'll do prizes like, obviously, if you get to the 1,000, you know, the biggest winners, biggest gainers, gainer of the day, all that kind of stuff. We're going to do all sorts of fun stuff. So you want to make sure that you are in the Discord, because we will talk about more of that throughout the weekend there. And I think the plan is to hopefully launch, you know, and this will be a fun little thing that we'll do. We'll launch it on, I think, on Monday. So be on the lookout for more details of that. But for now, this will be it. I hope you guys had a wonderful morning so far and enjoyed the show. Make sure that you smash the like button on your way out of here. Help me out. Help me help you. And then this way, you know, we can continue to bring you this amazing macro news in the morning. Discord is open. The Discord is live and open. I love this. I love the community chatting with each other. All right. I appreciate you guys. Looks like the market is taking a dump right now. The 9:30 candle is on. It is open. We've got some volatility. Hopefully you are in a short. If you are not, you may have missed some of the move. But remember, we've got 13 minutes and 15 seconds left of this candle. That'll do it for today. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember, 1% better every single day. Be on the lookout for the Macro Minute this weekend, as well as some newsletter stuff. If you want to join that, drop your email address. You can go to the website and all that stuff. There's places for that. We'll talk about more of that next week. But for now, enjoy your pizza tonight. Send those proof of pizza pictures.